welcome guests. What a huge, huge party. I am so excited to have all of you here. We are going to have such a good time. Many thanks to all of you for being here, for Abby and Chip. We are honored to have you join us in celebrating today's event and their bright future together. Abby, you are beautiful, smart, and strong, and you know I would do anything for you, anything. And I love you so much. You know, when I wrote that, I realized it's not unique because I don't have any problem saying, Janelle, you are beautiful, smart, strong, and I would do anything for you because I love you so much. And you know, this was mentioned by Tom. I know both of them in the back of their mind, they are thinking, well, it's also true that it's still not unique. I could say the same thing to my dog, Delilah. Delilah, you are beautiful, smart, strong, and I would do anything for you. I love you so much. And you know, Delilah, she told me she wanted to be a part of this wedding. Yes, yes. I have 25 years of warm memories with you, Abby, and some of them jump out more than others. Beginning with day one. Yes, Abby, the day that you were born, not far from here in Stillwater. Janelle and I, already parents of your big brother James, we were devastated when we were told that our little Abigail had a hole in her heart. We brought a stethoscope home. It was very, very difficult to hear, but I learned. A little squish, squish, squish of blood was spilling out rhythmically. Of course, I assumed it was my job to be protecting her, and that was going to be incredibly more important with such a fragile, fragile little girl, right? Well, not exactly. Turns out Abby's heart is the last thing any of us need to worry about. In fact, if I had really mastered that stethoscope, I would have listened to her heart and it would have been saying, I can do this. I do. I do. Actually, that became Abby's mantra as soon as she learned to talk. She was walking very early, insisting, I do. I do. As Janelle and I nervously hovered over her first steps. Mom, she couldn't hurry in the morning Abby at all to get ready. It couldn't happen. Reason being, she'd look at James. James could put his socks on just like that. Janelle would say, listen, we're in a hurry, we've got to go. But Abby would say, no, I do. I do. I get to put my socks. Didn't matter if it took 15 minutes. She had to put her socks on by herself. Abby was telling us early on that she would eventually be going into medicine. After breaking her arm as a toddler, she was saying again, I do, when she felt that it was healed and she could take the sling off in her crib. So that's what she told us, I do. So there are other classic memories of Abby that I have, riding shotgun with her big brother James in the toy battery-operated car. The two of those kids running laps full speed around our house. How about dancing wildly to Monday Night Football? Remember the theme? Barely before bedtime, and then boom, right to bed. How about our 2 solo Boundary Waters trips? We started when Abby was 8 years old, just she and I. Did it 2 years in a row. And that gave birth to Dads and Daughters Boundary Waters. If you haven't seen the pictures that are around, check them out on the internet. Yeah, Staves, the guys are here, guys that can be. By the way, say a quick prayer for Mike Stavener's dad, Dale, having a tough time with a surgery, part of our crew for dads and daughters, so God be with you, Dale. Other memories, homecoming celebrations, back in high school in our backyard with dozens of your classmates jumping off the walls. She'd come home on homecoming and have, it may have been 100 or more kids following her in our backyard. Bobber fishing walleyes, the three of us, watching the sunset on Forest Lake. Sometimes Abby and I would be filleting walleyes afterwards in the kitchen. How about reaching for the stars, Abby? Reaching for the stars, the glow-in-dark stars on your ceiling, giggling, joking as I would test to see. And hold her arm up in the air, and if it fell down, that meant she was sleeping. If it stayed up in the air and she's still reaching for the stars, she's still awake. I loved to hear your laugh. There are other memories that I'll stop myself from going into, but if it were possible at all to go back and live it all over again, I enthusiastically would, in a heartbeat. Fast forward to today. We've all heard Abby just say, "I do," at the altar. Only this time with that "I do," it was my heart that's got the murmur. For those of you who don't know my daughter, she's not only incredibly pretty, she's athletic and incredibly smart. She's also self-driven. Chip, you know that she's an absolutely fierce competitor. At the same time, though, she loves to have a good time, and she's got an infectious, and sometimes that smile is a little devious because it sucks you in, and then she beats it. But that's the way she is. She's got a beautiful, infectious smile. In short, Abby works hard, and plays hard. That's a mantra we've lived by in our household for a long, long time. And I am incredibly proud of her. While her accomplishments are many, here are some highlights. Athletically, she played and excelled at softball, basketball, volleyball, even pickleball in our front yard. And now, unfortunately for Chip, later this summer, she's focused on golf. Academically, she excelled enough in high school to get into the second best college in the Midwest. And after graduating from UW-Madison, she chose PA school in Grand Forks. And that was during, COVID. She had quite a dramatic time, but she just charged through and got through COVID, and really, she kicked some tail getting COVID or getting the PA school finished. A lot of the time, she had a rough time in the outskirts of North Dakota. Just super proud of her. So she's now a certified physician assistant, and I'm counting on that because I may go down during the father-daughter dance, so she may have to resuscitate. Abby's now working as an orthopedic physician assistant for a prolific surgeon in Mankato, Minnesota. But of all of your accomplishments, Abby, works in the classroom and now in the operating room, I'm just as proud of the spare time that you spent volunteering with a boy named Ezra, coaching Special Olympics, or spending a week on a mission in Haiti. Just as proud. Let me get to my new son-in-law, Chip. Smartest guy in the room. No doubt. Maybe the smartest guy in the state. If I think about that, actually the smartest guy in Wisconsin by far. And maybe the smartest guy in Minnesota. What a catch, Chip. What a catch. Best of your whole life, not even close. He's got to be brilliant. He chose my daughter, right? Fall in love and marrying her. But on top of that, is it just me? Anybody else notice that he's married her within a week of Mother's Day? Genius. Absolute genius. Huh? Right? He cuts in half his chances of missing his anniversary and Mother's Day. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Seriously though, Chip is a great young man with a promising future. We are very proud to welcome him as our second son, and I know that he loves Abby so much. Over the years, Chip and I have been on hunting trips, fishing trips. We've gone to Canada fishing muskie and walleye. We've even traveled to Alaska. We went last fall fishing salmon. We've even tangled with muskie on Forest Lake. Abby and Chip have been a match in so many ways, including on the basketball and pickleball courts, playing cribbage or chess, and now enjoying golf too. Truly, they are a match made in heaven. And yes, with God at their center, they were even baptized together a few years back. Which brings me to my last thought, and mine is this. Abby and Chip, in this topsy-turvy world, you two are so blessed that it makes me think of where it all possibly began. The source of many of your blessings can be traced to those in this room or those watching from above. So honor your predecessors by sharing what you have and who you are. Okay? Give generously of the resources that you have. Give of your time. The profound effects of sharing your blessings may not always immediately be apparent, but your gifts can change the world for others. Okay? They say, Luke 12:48, to whom much is given, much will be required. So finally, Abby, know in your heart, you lift my life every time you are in my thoughts. And you know I need that an awful lot. Your contagious smile, your ever-competitive spirit, your beautiful mind, all that makes up the beautiful you will always be my rabbit. You will always be my rabbit. I love you, Abby. And Chip, welcome, officially. Welcome to the family.